All right, this is a little bit tricky, but I'm going to video the actual teaching set because we're using rulers and flasks and other pictures on the paper to do our measurement. I'm going to try it this way, so hopefully this works. This is 4.MD.2 teaching set 1. We went over some of our measurement stuff last week, just reviewing millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. And then we added in we talked about our mass here, our mass and our capacity. So weight, talking about grams and kilograms. And then we reviewed liter and milliliters. There's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, and so forth. So now we actually get to have a ruler. We're talking about a ruler. You are receiving a ruler in your science kit that you are supposed to be picking up today, Tuesday. You can pick those up at Scootney or the lunch bus. If you have a lunch route that you go to, you can pick up packets there, which have your 4.MD.2 set and your science kit. So the science kit's going to get you through the rest of the week. The rest of the year. Okay, so let's look at number 1. A ribbon is shown above a centimeter ruler. So we're looking at the ribbon here. Enter the length in millimeters of the ribbon. So millimeters, it's bold. So just remember, we're working in millimeters. This is given in centimeters. So first of all, we have to look at the centimeters, and it goes to the 6. So we have 6 centimeters equals how many millimeters? Okay, so if we were to think about, and actually you can pull that out, you should have your notes in front of you, hopefully. And they can go from big to small or small to big. So millimeters is the smallest, centimeters is next, meters, okay, actually decimeters is in there, but so we have to think about millimeters to centimeters. Millimeters are smaller. So going from millimeters to centimeters, we would just move that zeros trick. It's 10 times, this is 10 times smaller than the centimeter. So our number is going to have to be bigger. So we're going to multiply this by 10. So 6 times 10 is 60. Okay, so 6 times 10 is what we did. Because going from here to here, it's 10 times greater. Centa is 100. Milla is 1,000. Okay, so this has one more zero than this. So it's 10 times smaller. Okay, so our answer is 60. So we will write down 60 millimeters. Okay, let's see if I can move this up without knocking it down. Let's see. So a ribbon is shown above a centimeter ruler. So again, if you look down here, this tells you what you're measuring in. So it's in centimeters. Enter the length in millimeters of the ribbon. Now the only difference is, notice that it's not starting on 0. When you measure something, if you were to go up and if you were to put this ribbon on this ruler, it would not be a smart idea to put it at the 5 in the middle of the ruler. It would be smart to start it at 0. So here we're just going to count. So if we look here, we go from 5 to 10. So 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 centimeters equals how many millimeters? So again, we're going from centimeters to millimeters, and we're going to, just like we did up above, we are going to multiply by 10 because millimeters is 10 times smaller than the centimeter. So this is going to be a bigger number. So 5 times 10 is 50. So we can write that over here. 50 millimeters equals 5 centimeters. Okay, so number 3, looking at the pencil there. Okay, a pencil is shown above a centimeter ruler. Again, we see this, it says centimeters. Enter the length in millimeters. So we're doing the same thing, millimeters of the pencil. So again, this is not started at 0 down here at the end of the ruler. So we need to count. Now you could either start at 16 and you could say 16, take away 3. That's going to give you the answer. Or you can just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just like a type diagram. So 13 centimeters. And we're going to put it into millimeters again. So blank, how many millimeters? So hopefully you're catching on here. So we did times 10. So centimeters to millimeters would be 13 times 10. You can use that zeros trick and add a 0 to 13, and that's going to give you 130 millimeters. And the one down at the very bottom is our color crayon, and it says a crayon is shown above an inches ruler. Okay, so it doesn't show you inches right here, but it's telling you it's an inches ruler. Enter the length in inches of the crayon. That's all it's wanting. It's no trick. The only trick is it's not starting at 0. So you're going to look at 2 1/4. So hopefully you guys watch those videos. If not, I'll do a quick review. From here to here, that's 1 inch. This would be our half mark. This would be our quarter, 1/4. And this would be 3/4. So you would have 2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 3. And that repeats it. It's like a pattern. So if we started here, we could say 2 1/4 here, to 3 1/4, that's 1, to 4 1/4, that's 2, to 5 1/4, that's 3. So we went 1, 2, 3 inches. Okay, so you can run your pencil there and pencil there. 2 1/4, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/4. We're counting by holes, but we're starting at that 2 1/4. Okay, so next page here, number 5. Brenda has a water bottle. Enter the volume in liters of the water. So Brenda has a water bottle. This isn't a water bottle, but it's my brain just left me. A beaker. Here we go. So milliliters. So we're looking at 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 is here. So in between each one of these, if you look close, that would be the half mark. So 400 to 500, what is halfway in between? So think back when we were rounding at the very beginning of the year. I know that's so long ago. From here to here is a whole. This is going to be 1/2. So here to here is 100, 400 to 500. This is 100. So half of 100 is 50. Okay, so you would have 450 milliliters. Okay, right here, milliliters. 450 milliliters equals how many liters? Okay, so milliliters is smaller than a liter. So from milliliters not equals, milliliters to liters. From here to here, this is going to be divide by 1,000. Milli means 1,000. Okay, milli, 1,000. So this is 1,000 times smaller than the liter, which means whatever number you get here is going to be bigger than this number. Okay, so this number is going to be bigger than this number, which means we need to divide. Milliliters to liters, we are dividing by 1,000. Okay, so if we divide by 1,000, remember that we have a decimal point here. So your decimal point starts there. So we would have 450 with a decimal point. We would move our decimal point. Dividing means we are making this number smaller. Okay, so to make this number smaller, we're going to move our decimal place to the left 3 places because we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So now you have 0.45 liters. Okay, so 0.45 liters. You could put it up in that line, but it's kind of cut off on mine. 0.45, so you don't see it very well. 0.45 liters. Okay, so the next one, Stacy filled a bucket with water. Enter the volume in, trying to get that in there for you. Okay, Stacy filled a bucket with water. Enter the volume in liters of the water. Okay, so I'm thinking Stacy filled the bucket. She filled it up here. I guess I'm assuming that's what's going on. So this would be, so first you have to figure out how much the lines are. So notice that it skips a line, and that's 2, 4, 6. So it's counting by 2. So each one of these lines is going to be 1,000. So this would be 1,000. Graduated cylinder. I was trying to remember the word. I'm like, I know the word. Graduated. Graduated cylinder is what that is. Graduated cylinder just means that there's numbers on it and it's measured. So this would be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. So this would be 7,000. And it's in milliliters. Okay, so we have 7,000 milliliters equals how many liters? So again, this number is going to be bigger than this number because these are smaller. These units are smaller. 1,000 times smaller. So 1,000 times smaller means we're going to have to make this 1,000 times smaller, which means we're going to divide by 1,000. So 7,000 divided by 1,000, you should already know. You can take off all those zeros, and you would have 7 left. So 7,000, the decimal place is here, and you would move it 1, 2, 3, which would wipe all these out, and your answer is 7. Okay, so you can put that up here if you want to, 7 liters. Okay, and the next one, number 7, enter the amount of time in seconds it took the student to walk around the building. Okay, so it's giving us minutes. Okay, it's measured in minutes. It's on the 4. So 4 minutes equals how many seconds? So if you think back to our time video, how many, you have to ask yourself how many seconds are in 1 minute? How many seconds are in 1 minute? 60, right. So we're going from minutes to seconds. Which ones are smaller? Seconds are smaller than minutes. So the seconds number is going to be bigger than the minute number. So you're going to multiply when you're going this way, minutes to seconds, you're going to multiply by 60. So if we have 4 minutes, 60 times, oh, that's getting out of the picture, 60 times 4 equals, 6 times 4 is I almost gave it to you. Oh, focus again there. 6 times 4 is 24, and then we have 1 0. So it would be 240 seconds. So you can put that down here. 240 seconds. And down at the bottom, what is the length in inches of the pen shown? Okay, so we look at again, this is not starting at 0. So you have to count 8 to 12 here. And it looks like it's pretty much, well, I guess it is kind of starting at 7 3/4. Looks like my screen is frozen. Hopefully it's not. So 7 3/4. So you know what? I'm going to start up here. This is at the 12. I'm actually going to work backwards and just count backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one of these is 1/4. So 4 and 1/4. 4 and 1/4 inches. Okay. Moving on to the last page here. And I think I want to, well, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. This is really frozen though, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so let me see here. Students are cutting ribbon for wrapping presents. The table lists the lengths of each ribbon in inches. Draw and label a point for each ribbon on the number line to represent the length in feet. So that means you're going to have to say ribbon A is 54 inches. So we're going inches to feet. So if we go from inches to feet, we have to think about inches to feet. How many inches are in 1 foot? 1 foot is a ruler. So inches to feet, we would be going small to big, which means we would divide by 12. There's 12 inches in 1 foot. So 54 divided by 12. Okay, so 54 divided by 12. I don't know if you can see that. I'm afraid my screen is still frozen. So I'm going to stop it there, and I may